Welcome to Zoe Stories. I teased her. Now I'm her pretty puppet. My name is Ryan Clark, 24, sharp-tongued, and up until recently, completely sure of who I was. On the surface, I'm your typical modern guy, laid-back tech assistant at a marketing agency, sarcastic, socially fluent, and always the one cracking inappropriate jokes in the group chat. But if there's one thing I've never really shared with anyone, it's the secret that clings to the deepest part of me like a second skin, one made of lace, nylon, and a growing fear I could never explain. I didn't mean to make fun of her. Not like that. Emma, my girlfriend of nearly a year, had been experimenting with a few things, some cute vintage skirts, playful lipstick looks, even the occasional costume for her fashion content on social media. And yet I teased her, jokingly called her Princess Emma, whenever she twirled around the apartment in something frilly. I thought I was being charming, playful even. But she had this glint in her eyes every time I said it. A stillness. Like she was listening, processing, and storing it somewhere very private. I never thought she'd turn the tables. The story begins in our cozy but stylish one-bedroom apartment in Midtown, a modern, slightly overpriced rental with floor-to-ceiling windows, a lot of natural light, and Emma's unmistakable influence in every corner. Floral curtains, blush-toned throws on the couch, golden vanity trays, and scented candles that burned with names like Wild Fig or Velvet Nights. When I first moved in with her, I laughed and called it the Barbie trap. She smirked and said, "Maybe someday it will trap you too." At the time, I rolled my eyes. But now, those words echo in my head differently. The mood in the apartment was peaceful on the surface. Music played softly from her Spotify playlist, mostly dreamy electropop and vintage ballads. Emma had left earlier in the afternoon to visit her friend from college for the weekend. That meant I had the apartment to myself.
Just me.
And the one hidden drawer I rarely dared to open. I've always had thoughts, impulses I couldn't shake, moments when I found myself staring just a little too long at the mannequins in department stores or trailing my fingers across silky dresses in boutiques while pretending to look for a gift for Emma. In high school, I tried on my sister's clothes once. Just once. It was a pink cami top and a denim miniskirt. I remembered the thrill and guilt twisted together so tightly I could barely breathe. After I started dating Emma, the urges didn't go away. They intensified. Her wardrobe, her confidence, her grace. It called to me like a siren song. I found myself imagining what it would feel like to slip into her dresses, to look in the mirror and see someone else staring back. Not a man hiding from himself, but something softer, prettier. A fantasy version of me. Still, I buried it deep. Until that weekend. Emma was everything. Intelligent, stylish, independent, and oddly intuitive. She always knew when I wasn't being honest, even with myself. We met at a bookstore downtown. She caught me scanning the cover of a fashion photography book, half interested, half afraid someone might see me. She teased me right then and there. "Looking for ideas for your runway debut?" I choked on my words, turning crimson. But she just laughed, brushed it off with a wink, and invited me for coffee. That was Emma. Sharp as glass, but warm beneath the surface. From the very beginning, she had a way of reading me without judgment. But something shifted lately. A month ago, she started leaving little things out in the open. A pair of pink panties casually draped across the bathroom counter. A lipstick tube rolled near my gaming setup. One day, a silky blouse was folded neatly on my side of the bed. She claimed she was just messy. I wasn't convinced. And yet, I never confronted her. Part of me was afraid. Afraid of what she might know, what she might have planned, or worse, what she might think of me if she didn't know and found out. There's a drawer at the bottom of Emma's vanity. Technically, she told me never to open it. So of course, it's the one drawer I open when she's gone. It started with small things. One pair of lace panties. A delicate garter belt. A sheer nightgown that looked more like a whisper than clothing. But over time, I started trying them on. Always in secret. Always in fear. Yet the thrill, the pure adrenaline of sliding silk against skin, of seeing myself changed, it was undeniable. The last time I did it, I nearly got caught. I had just zipped up a satin cocktail dress, heels strapped tight, a blonde wig perched loosely atop my head, and red gloss dabbed over trembling lips. The mirror showed someone new, someone I didn't recognize, someone beautiful. And then the door clicked. Emma was home early. My heart stopped. But she didn't come into the bedroom. She simply called. Forgot my phone charger. Be right back. I scrambled out of everything in record time. But my hands were shaking for hours. That was 2 weeks ago. Today, she was gone again. And the drawer was still there. Still waiting. It wasn't just temptation anymore. It was need. I stood in front of the vanity now, hands trembling slightly as I reached for the drawer. It slid open with a soft sigh, revealing its familiar treasure trove of silks, satins, lipsticks, and heels. But something was different. On top of everything, placed like a centerpiece, was a handwritten note. In Emma's delicate script. If you're going to keep pretending, at least do it right. Try everything on. And don't forget the camera. I want to see how pretty you can be without me. My mouth went dry. I looked around the room, unsure if she was hiding somewhere, watching. My heart raced, shame and desire fighting inside me like twin storms. What was this? A trap? A game? Or an invitation? After that day Emma caught me in the black satin panties. After her smirk and that cryptic, commanding, "We'll talk later," I thought I'd never sleep again. I waited for the fallout, but it never came. No yelling, no judgment, no breakup, just silence. Except it wasn't true silence. The next morning, she left a note on my pillow. Since you like being cute, I picked out a little something for you. You better wear it before I get home. Hugs and kisses, your queen. I found the package on my dresser. Inside was a lavender lingerie set, lace panties, a matching bra stuffed with soft inserts, and a satin robe that shimmered like starlight. I stared at it for a full 5 minutes. My hands trembled as I touched the delicate fabric. My heart pounded like a drum in my chest. This wasn't a joke. Emma knew. She wasn't angry. She was indulging me? No, controlling me. And I hated how much I loved it. I waited until I was alone. Emma had a full shift at the hospital that day, gone until midnight. I locked the bedroom door like a teenager, hiding a shameful habit. First came the panties. They hugged me tight, the lace sending a shiver down my spine. Next, the bra, sliding the straps over my shoulders, adjusting the pads until I almost looked real. Feminine. The robe floated around me, its silky weight thrilling and terrifying at once. I stood in front of the mirror, knees weak. Who was this girl? Her lips were trembling. Her eyes were wide. But the blush on her cheeks was unmistakable. She was beautiful. And she was me. I should have stopped, changed out, burned the note, and promised myself it would never happen again. But I didn't. Instead, I wandered around the apartment in her robe, touching the walls like I was discovering the place for the first time. I sat cross-legged on the bed, opened YouTube, and, God help me, I watched makeup tutorials. Just to see. Just to imagine. Could I actually pull this off? Was that why Emma left me the lingerie? Was she daring me? Or was she testing how far I'd go? Either way, I wasn't ready to find out. I ripped the bra off and threw the robe in the laundry before she got home. I was back in my hoodie and jeans, pretending to game when she walked in. Emma kissed me on the forehead. She didn't say a word about the missing lingerie. Just smiled. She knew. Every few days, she'd leave a note. A new outfit. A pair of thigh highs. Lip gloss with a sticky sweet cherry scent. One day, even a pair of kitten heels size 10. They fit perfectly. She was training me, grooming me into someone new. No, not someone new. Someone I'd buried. She was peeling me back, layer by layer. And I didn't resist. She called me that one night. I'll never forget it. I was standing in the living room, fully dressed in the pleated pink skirt and white crop top she'd chosen. She'd curled my hair, clipped in extensions, painted my nails. I felt like a doll, plastic, smooth, perfect. And when I blushed, she said, "God, you're so cute when you squirm. My pretty little puppet." I should have felt humiliated. But the way she said it like she owned me lit a fire in my gut. I didn't know whether to kiss her or drop to my knees. That's when things started to get dangerous. Emma began pushing the boundaries. One afternoon, she told me to dress up while she ran errands and stay dressed until she got back. "I'll only be gone an hour," she said, twirling her keys. "Don't make me come home and find you slacking." An hour? Easy. I slipped into the assigned outfit, a pale yellow sundress and a pair of white ballet flats. My legs were smooth now. She'd made me shave a few days ago. She said it was non-negotiable. I checked the mirror. God. I didn't even look like him anymore. The dress flattered my figure, the light catching the curve of my hips. I added blush and mascara. Emma had taught me how, and applied a thin coat of gloss. I was trembling, but not from fear. From exhilaration. 30 minutes in, I was twirling in the mirror, watching the skirt rise, when someone knocked. I froze. Another knock. Louder. "Package," a voice shouted. "Need a signature." Panic surged. My legs moved before my brain did. I grabbed a robe and threw it on, rushing to the door. "Coming." I cracked it open. It was the delivery guy from downstairs. Big, friendly, oblivious. He handed me the clipboard without looking twice. "New outfit?" he asked casually. My breath caught. I looked down. My robe had slipped, showing the hem of my sundress. I stammered. It's for a party." He smiled. No judgment. "Love the heels, by the way." Then he left. I shut the door and collapsed to the floor, heart pounding, robe clutched tight to my chest. That night, I told Emma everything. I thought she'd be mad. Instead, she laughed. "And you still answered the door? Brave girl." I blushed. I panicked. She leaned close. "You liked it, though, didn't you?" I couldn't lie. I did. A week later, Emma crossed the final line. She handed me a phone. It showed a picture of me, fully dressed in the blue dress she loved, posing in front of the mirror. "I posted this to a private account," she said. "No one you know. Just a little community I follow." My jaw dropped. "You what?" "Relax. They love you. They think you're adorable. Her name's Emily, by the way." "Emily, that's you. When you dress up." She kissed me softly. "You are Emily. You've just been hiding her." I was sitting on the couch in Emma's favorite pink crop hoodie, my freshly glossed lips sipping vanilla iced coffee, while my shaved legs curled under me like some obedient house girlfriend. I didn't hear her come in, but I heard my phone ping. I looked down. A notification. Instagram. A new message. From someone I knew. No. No. It was Jason, my best friend. Jason, the guy I'd played basketball with for 10 years, the guy who always laughed about femboys on TikTok, the guy who once said he'd rather die than wear pink. And now he'd just messaged Emily. Not just the mirror pic. The video. The one Emma took of me giggling and twirling in the sundress, saying, "Does this make my butt look big?" Emma had filmed it, laughing, cheering me on. I'd begged her not to post it. She said she deleted it. She lied. It was on the Instagram she'd made for Emily. Thousands of likes. A few shares. Somehow, Jason had found it. "Bro, is this you?" I dropped the phone like it burned me. My breath turned shallow. I stared at my reflection in the black TV screen. Long hair. Smooth skin. Baby pink hoodie. Glitter on my eyelids. Oh God. What have I become? She walked in like nothing was wrong. Tossed her keys on the counter. Saw me trembling. And smiled. "You saw the message?" I didn't answer. "I told you not to check that phone. It's Emily's, not yours." I stood up. "You lied to me." She tilted her head. "No. I just didn't tell you everything. You said the account was private." Emma walked slowly toward me, her voice calm, soothing, like she was speaking to a child who didn't understand the rules of her game. "I made it private. But then people started loving you. I couldn't help it. You're gorgeous. And don't pretend you hated the attention." I shook my head. "This isn't what I wanted." She raised an eyebrow. "Isn't it?" I ran to the bathroom and locked the door. I peeled off the hoodie, wiped the makeup from my face with trembling hands, stared into the mirror like I could claw the femininity off me. I looked like a stranger. Jason knew. How many others knew? Would it spread? Would my friends see? My parents? The walls closed in. I slid down to the cold tile floor, clutching my knees, sobbing silently. She waited until the next morning. When I finally emerged, red-eyed and silent, she was at the table, sipping coffee in her scrubs. You don't have to keep hiding. Emily's real. She's beautiful. And she's part of you now. I didn't respond. Besides, she said gently, you belong to me now. I looked up. You teased me, mocked me, treated my world like it was a joke. So, I made you live it. She got up, walked over, cupped my face in her hands. But somewhere along the way, I think you liked it, didn't you? I couldn't speak. She whispered, say it. Yes. She smiled. Good girl. Emma had one more surprise. That Saturday, she told me we were going out. I protested, begged, screamed. She told me if I didn't obey, she'd show Jason the full videos, the private ones. The ones where I moaned her name in lingerie, whispered about being her puppet. She had me. So I dressed. A pink skater dress, white heels, curls, full makeup, glitter eyeshadow and fake lashes. I looked like a doll. No, a dream. Or a nightmare. We went to the cafe downtown. People looked, but not in horror. They smiled. I smiled back. Something inside me shifted. Was this pride or surrender? The doorbell above the cafe jingled. I turned and froze. Jason. He didn't see me at first. He was laughing with a friend. Then his eyes scanned the room. Landed on me. His smile faltered. He blinked. Then he walked over. Hey, he said slowly, voice uncertain. Are you? I opened my mouth. No words came. He looked closer. Eyes wide. Bro? Emma touched my shoulder. Her name's Emily. Jason took a step back. His mouth opened and closed. Then slowly he nodded. Okay. He left. That was all. No violence. No mockery. Just acceptance? Or maybe confusion. But it didn't matter. Because in that moment something broke. Or something was born. That night, I sat in front of the mirror again. Hair still curled. Makeup still perfect. Dress still clinging to my body. Emma stood behind me. She leaned close, her lips brushing my ear. I told you, didn't I? You're my puppet. And now, the strings are permanent. 2 weeks passed. The mirror no longer startled me. I knew the girl staring back. Long lashes. Soft skin. Glossy lips. Pink cheeks. Emily. Not a mask. Not a joke. Not a punishment. I didn't try to escape anymore. I stopped checking my old phone. Stopped thinking about video games or gym nights or who I used to be. Jason never messaged again. Maybe he couldn't process it. Maybe he didn't want to. Emma said he looked at more photos. Even followed the account. That part of me twisted, but not from shame. From something else. Power? She still picked out my outfits. Still corrected my posture. Still held the leash, metaphorically, and sometimes literally. But her voice had changed. Less mocking. More proud. She praised my eyeliner. Brushed my hair in the mornings. Told me I looked stunning. Told me she never thought she'd love someone like this. We lay in bed, her hand tracing my thigh. Do you hate me? She asked softly. I didn't answer right away. Then, I don't know. She nodded. Fair. I rolled toward her. I hated you. At first. For what you did. For forcing this. She kissed my cheek. But now, I whispered, I think I hate that I don't hate it anymore. Her lips curved into that dangerous, satisfied smile. Good. That means you're mine. I didn't protest. Didn't even blink. Just stared at the form and signed. Emily Grace Holloway. New ID. New email. New world. The boy I'd been no longer existed in any system. Emma called it liberation. I wasn't sure, but I didn't resist. Emma dressed me in a tight white dress with silver hoops and nude heels, lipstick that sparkled under the bar lights. The other girls called me cute. One asked for my number. I laughed, giggled actually, and leaned into Emma's side. "I'm taken," I said.
And I meant it.
Emma didn't have to command anymore. She just looked. I moved. I learned what pleased her. How to walk, speak, flirt, tease. How to pout when I wanted something. How to beg. Not because I had to, because it felt right. And yet, some nights, when she's asleep, I still look at the ceiling and wonder, who would I be if I hadn't teased her? Would I still be the smug, careless boy who laughed at her lip gloss and heels? Would I still feel powerful? Would I still feel like me? But those nights are rare now. Most nights, I curl into her arms, brush a painted nail across her chest, whisper, "Thank you." Because somewhere between punishment and playtime, between rebellion and surrender, between him and her, I became real.